Hi, my name is Aubree. I am an inventor and I am getting ready and I am listening to a podcast. And I find it very interesting um, the two types of content available out there that I enjoy and how far apart they are. So I listen to, say, like the Glossy podcast or things that are like speaking in the beauty industry space. And then I also love listening to, what is it called? The podcast by Primarily Pure. Her name is Bethany. But so things that are more kind of in the homestead space, but not like full homestead. I'm not there yet. I would say I'm like in the suburbs, not high rise, not homestead, kind of in the middle. And as I was getting ready, it made me realize or wonder, I guess, if I am the only one who's kind of in the middle or if other people out there are in the middle too. Because I'm listening to this homestead podcast, not my normal. I got about it via Emily Toops from Toops & Co. But I have any other stuff here. I really like her makeup. She makes some great stuff. But it's interesting because I like her makeup, believe what she's saying, but I don't live her lifestyle. And the person that she's talking to on this podcast very much so does live her lifestyle. They have a homestead, they grow all their own food, they have their own cow, which I find amazing, but it's not my life at the moment. Maybe someday it will be, but it's not at the moment. And so I'm curious if anybody else feels similarly. I would say grew up in the kind of standard beauty space, and I still enjoy it. So I love West Atelier, which she kind of goes on the other side of things. I love Say. I love all these brands that definitely, they are in Sephora. They're not something you're gonna make at home. And they probably are not something, I would guess, I don't know, but not something that I would say your typical homestead person would be interested in. But then I also love Primarily Pure, and I love Toops & Co. And what else do I have sitting around here? I would say those are probably the two main that kind of fit that side of things. I actually love, this one's great too. Smear Skincare, another great one. I literally just, it's empty. But I'm kind of in the middle, so I'm curious if anyone else is in the middle. And yeah, let me know. I've kind of been dreaming up something that's in the middle. See if I have anything in here to show you. You see it? It smells really good. And my goal is to make something kind of sits in the space in between. Something that someone that shops at Sephora would be interested in, and something that would also provide clinical results like something at Sephora. So I really want to get my body buttercream clinically tested. Eventually, it's expensive, but it's on my list of wants. And when that happens, I hope that it has the amazing results that I expect from standard skincare, but with fewer ingredients. And I don't know, I think of it as like between homestead and high rise. Like I live in the suburbs, so between homestead and high rise. And one thing that it kind of makes me think of is in college, I was a math major and I was not as smart as many of the other people in that department. I kind of stumbled upon it and I'm really glad I did. But I would say the biggest thing I learned from that was not necessarily math, but how to bridge the gap between different types of people and different thought processes. So I was in a sorority. I was on, it was called Spirit Leaders. It was like the cheer team. And then I also was a math major, and I felt like those two worlds sometimes collided, but were also had different ways of thinking around a lot of things. And in my group projects for math, one thing that I always loved was I was not necessarily the smartest person in the room, but I was able to help the smartest people in the room talk. So when two people thought that their ideas were the best and we had to do a group project and everybody had to land at the same spot, I did feel like I was able to help both people feel heard and find a place in the middle. And that kind of makes me think about what is going on in beauty right now. So there is the homestead side where things are ultra natural and they are drinking beef liver smoothies, which I'm sure are great for you, but I do not drink. And then there's the other side where people, I don't know, think tallo's gross or don't want to go there or whatever it may be, or don't think that the efficacy is there behind products like that. And so, I don't know, typically in the morning while I'm getting ready, before my little ones wake up, I listen to a podcast. And I think it's interesting that my podcast worlds are very separate. Like they don't typically meet. And I'm kind of hoping to create a company in the middle. So to be that meeting place. Yeah, let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you'd be interested. I personally am, so that makes me think somebody else might be. But let me know. So